Hello and welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Animals and Pets with Partha. Today is a very special episode. The episode that involves the national trophies of the dog world of India. Well, exactly about 3 years back, in the month of August 2019, the last auction for the national trophies was held in Chennai. Everybody knows. And in that national auction, the highest number of bidders, of course, was from Calcutta. And Calcutta has been a leader in the dog world for a long, long time. If you take into consideration that the maximum amount of revenue that must have gone to the dog world is from Calcutta, because over the years, the number of registration and things like that, the Calcutta has always been the leader. And I am sure, and I am sort of telling you with conviction, that if you check on the records, Calcutta would have by far exceeded the amount in rupees that must have been the contribution towards the growth of the dog game of India. Well, the 2019 August auction, there were invitations that was sent out from Chennai. There were phone calls made to important bidders who sort of have a proven track record of having a lot of money, and of course from good to bad dogs. That doesn't really matter, because the auction decides who are going to be the winners. The best, the second and third, the best boxer, the best Doberman, the best German Shepherd and things like that. Because it's the auction that determines the winners. What a wonderful system that we have developed in India, which the world hasn't learned yet. Well, anyway, in that auction, there were lots of bidders who went from Calcutta, and some of them, of course, backed out in spite of getting repeated phone calls to attend, because the reserve money, they did not know what the reserve money was, but everybody guessed it wouldn't be less than a lakh of rupees. So in that case, most of the people who could not afford that reserve money, the minimum lakh of rupees from where the bidding would start, so they just backed out, didn't go. And then the people who went, of course, went with fat suitcases, Hitachi cases full of money. And then, for the occasion of the auction, there was a very special interpreter who was flown down from Calcutta. Everybody knows the interpreter. He's a very famous interpreter. He's conversant in Tamil, Bengali, and English. Well, the people from Calcutta flew down with loads of money, and the auction was in August of 2019. Of course, most of them stayed in 5-star, 7-star hotels, and the bidding took place, and it was a fantastic collection. And of course, it was all settled. But we don't know the result, because what happened was halfway down, everything stopped because of the lockdown. As you know, 2000 March or April, whatever, there was complete lockdown, and the entire world was sort of combating with COVID-19. And so the dog game came to a halt. And a lot of people who actually lost their money in the bargain. But anyway, now 3 years have passed, and the dog world has still not come back to its normal. There are a lot of court orders in place now, and the syndicate has to pay up a lot of money to the dog world. And then apart from that, of course, there are a lot of rules that have to be complied to. A new committee has to take over. I only wish that a new committee with consisting of dog lovers, honest people who would help this dog game back to its past glory. Because, as you know, our dog game has been disgraced not only in the country but around the world. Because for the last 2 decades or so, all the awards, all the top awards were actually pre-decided. Most of the judges came with a mission to put off certain dogs, and for that they would get a fantastic holiday in India, airfares, they were taken care of, great hotels, travel, shopping money and everything. And everybody knows that. and that's why the dog game the numbers dwindled in most of the shows where all this corruption took place. Majority of the shows were under the syndicate and its stooges. There are, of course, a few clubs who is to organize shows, as always organize shows that are not under the clutches of the syndicate. And in those shows, even today, there are a great number of entries. People just love those shows. And one such example, of course, there must be more, but I can tell you one such example is the show in Uttarakhand. And if you see, it is the biggest show in the country now because of the great reputation of being a very fair show where the judges are not under pressure to put up dogs that are assigned to do by the syndicate. We, of course, see a lot of good judges also coming to this country from time to time, but they are rare, and most of these judges wouldn't bother to be, pre-assigned dogs they have to put up because they are already too busy and they have to be requested for an appointment so that they sort of grace our dog shows in India. But majority of the judges are who come here have been very, very corrupt, and that is really very disheartening for the dog lovers of this country. And our dog game, which has the potential of being one of the biggest dog game in this country, or rather in this world, is now one of the most disgraced dog world worldwide. Well, as you know, India's history, dog game history dates back hundreds of years. And our kennel club, the kennel was started by the Britishers in about 130 odd years back in 1896. And then after that, of course, the Kennel Club of India, and then we had the Calcutta Kennel Club, because Calcutta was the place where the dog game started, because the Britishers first set foot in India, in Calcutta, and started the East India Company. And after that, of course, they branched out and they took over the entire country. But anyway, so the dog game, which has such a great legacy, a great heritage, and a lot of Indians are renowned worldwide. In fact, in 1971, if you check on records, the Prestige show at Crufts was won by Prince Ahmed Hussain, who always claimed that he was from India, and his name was there in the list of Indian judges in till about the last 2 decades or more earlier. But anyway, things have changed, and as you know, our game went into the grip of the syndicate, and the syndicate designed everything to loot this dog world. Well, coming to Calcutta. Calcutta is a very happy hunting ground for the syndicate, and he has the maximum number of sycophants in the city of Calcutta. Whenever he visits this city, is very special for a lot of these sycophants, because they get an opportunity to really look after him. They rush to him with all lot of gifts, and they pamper him with, in fact, they have special, everybody knows he loves nightlife, so they all have everything chalked out to, gorgeous time that he has in Calcutta. Then, apart from that, of course, he really goes back overloaded and overweight and pays excess baggage when he flies off from the city of Calcutta to Chennai. Well, so, but things have to change. If you have to make this dog game, again attractive to the dog lovers of this country, you have to cleanse this game. You have to get rid of the syndicate and his sycophants. With this appeal, I will not drag this episode any further. This was a very important point that I wanted to make, that the major national trophies have not started yet, and therefore no auctions have all been organized. And I hope that the 2019 August auction for the national dog game trophies now is the last that ever happened in the dog world of India. And please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell button, and not only that, do like and share it, I am extremely grateful, very grateful to the dog lovers of this country, in fact the animal lovers of this country, who actually endorsed my channel, and they are my subscribers, and a lot of them come back every time I have an episode uploaded. Look forward to being with you in many more episodes with lots of topics covering all pet animals, means it can be horses, cows, what I have been, as you know, I am always trying to get new things in my channel, sharing with you, and I'll keep doing it as long as I get your support and your blessings. Bye bye for now.